Vienna, King and Queen of the West. Let Master Farrell von Hallstern come before their majesties.
Majesties, Master Farrell von Hallstern, sometimes warlord of this kingdom. We've had many squires, and we've been elevated. Come to beg a boon of you.
We have spoken of this. You may proceed.
The strength and stability of the kingdom lie in these virtues of its people: creativity, service, chivalry. For if any of these are lacking, the kingdom fails. The fighters of the kingdom defend it with their swords, and with their honor bring great glory upon the field. Let all members of the Order of Chivalry, of whatever kingdom in the known world here present, come forward and kneel to bear witness.
That is so cool.
Tall person, get an angle.
Yeah, we're going to back up.
Step back, everyone.
Let's back up.
I'm about to
We actually have to make that. That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let Countess Svava Thorgeir's daughter come forward and speak as a member of the Order of the Rose.
I, Countess Svava Thorgeir's daughter, am honored to speak as a Lady of the Rose for Ajax. It is wonderful to witness such a crowd assembled to see a life in the SCA come full circle to a place of forgiveness, growth, and excellence. This moment is also a milestone in my SCA journey as well. Ajax brought me into my first event here at the Pennsic War, what feels like a lifetime ago. Now I have the privilege to stand here as a Lady of the Rose to talk about the qualities that make Ajax a candidate to the chivalry. A rare opportunity when he has to listen to me. As a Lady of the Rose, I am duty-bound to speak of courtesy. There are many ways to show courtesy, and Ajax has stayed true to himself and invented new ways to let courtesy show. He's always there to help when needed, with a grumble and a smile. He is welcoming of new people, giving them a place to be, a cool drink, a spot to lounge, but most of all, memories to carry them through their SCA life. He accepts people for who they are while encouraging them to learn and grow, and to improve themselves through his own commitment to excellence. Ajax, you have traveled a long and tumultuous journey, pulling yourself from the dark places and coming out the other side much improved. Ajax, you are my friend, my favorite ex-boyfriend, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, you are my peer. Your Majesties, this is my honor that has long since overdue, and I recommend him to you without hesitation.
We hear your words and we know them to be true. We thank you.
Let the herald for Gregory of Loch Swan, Master of the Pelican, come before their majesties.
Your Majesties, these are the words of my father, Sir Gregory of Loch Swan. Ajax has served his kingdom and the SCA for all the years he has known him. He is what I term an operational peer, a hands-on peer that serves by the direct doing and helping all those he contacts in the SCA. He has served on the night watch at Pennsic ever since I have known him. When I've needed someone to work, he has, without thought to personal inconvenience, worked at whatever task I have set for him. When I have needed someone, This is truly the measure of this man's service. He has served his household by being an example of what his distinct period within the SCA is, and has taught those who wanted to learn about that period. I've never known this man to turn down any in need. I wish I could be there to watch his elevation, but I want you to know, Ajax, that you are my peer, and I wish you well. My only advice is this: speak for those with no voice, stand by those with no support, and shield those with no defence. Seek out those that have no sponsor, and be their guide through to the path of their goals. And above all, support the crown. Sir Gregory of Loch Swan.
And your father, I know him well, and we know his words to be true. We thank you.
Let Mistress Ekaterina Volkova come forward as a pelican of Ethelmark.
I am Baroness Ekaterina Volkova of Ethelmark, 4 years ago, by grace of their majesties, made pelican at this very site. I have known this man for 12 years, since the first time he set foot in the watch. He and I have worked together in the shift called the zombie shift. From 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., either he or I was there. He is a man who does what he needs to do, not for the accolades, but because it needs to be done. If he wanted the cookie, he would not have been doing it at night. Yesterday at his vigil, I asked him, your patron goddess is Athena. Why? Simply put, he said, she is the goddess of getting stuff done. This sums this man up. He does it because he can, because it needs to be doing, and somebody needs to do it. Your Majesties, I humbly present him to you as my peer.
We thank you. We trust your word.
Let the herald for Mistress Thora Sharptooth, a resident in the west, from the east, a laurel, come forward.
May it please your majesties, I stand as herald for Thora Sharptooth, companion of the laurel. These are her words. Happy is the east, blessed is the west, as the refining of gold showeth forth all its splendors, so do words of a man's rare deeds make him as the peer of kings. For over 20 years, Ajax has shared his research with me. He and I are kindred spirits in the search for knowledge. His passion and skill turn history, whether it be my cultures or his, into reality. I ask ye, give him grace and reverence in the eyes of your subjects and of strangers too, for the sake of his arete.
Herald, we thank you for your word, and we trust it. We thank you.
Let Mistress Etienne du Pommier, a companion of the Order of the Laurel, come forward.
Majesties. I speak today to history, for the context of our game is not the Middle Ages as it was, but rather as we wish it could have been. The virtue of humility is not a Macedonian concept, but it is critical to our experience of peer-like qualities in the society. We need humility because in order to learn, we must first admit we don't know. We need humility because in order to make amends, we must first admit we have done wrong. We need humility because in order to forgive, we must first admit our own failings. Ajax has a unique relationship with the virtue of humility, and it has been the context of my own friendship with him. His experience with its lack, both in himself and in others, has marked the entirety of his journey to this peerage. Ajax has walked the path towards humility, fallen off it with a fairly resounding bang, and done what a true knight needs to do. He has made amends and grown into the man we see before us. One who is able to admit wrong and atone for it. One who is able to forgive the wrongs done to him by others. And perhaps most importantly, one who will be able to teach humility and forgiveness to those that follow.
We thank you. We know you well. We trust your words.
Let Sir Arnwulf Ethelreding of the East come forward.
Your Majesty, I am Arnwulf Ethelreding, Knight of the Society and of the East Kingdom. 19 years ago, this man stood guard at my vigil. I expected him to follow me soon. It was my honor last night to stand guard at his vigil and be here to see this happen. I would speak as a knight of prowess. Years ago, when I fought in crown tourneys, I would always choose Ajax as my warm-up bout because I knew that he would bring it and he would set my mind where it needed to be so that I could do what I needed to do to become a knight. This man has done as much to help me with my prowess as anyone I can think of. I commend him to you as my peer and as a knight of the society.
We thank you. We hear your words. We trust your judgment.
Let Master Frederick of Holland come forward to speak.
Your Majesties, companions of mine in the Order of Chivalry, I would speak of a virtue which is Macedonian, which is of the classic era, and that is the virtue of perseverance. For a knight must persevere. If the way in front of him is filled with men, he must carve his way through them. If demons assail him, he must beat them to the ground. And if even the gods themselves stand against him, as Poseidon did Odysseus, he must persevere, though it take him 20 years to return home. Ajax has, against all these things, persevered, and is now, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the Western chivalry, meeting that I saw advise their majesties, he has come home, and I bid you, your majesties, I pray, welcome him.
Your Grace, we thank you. We trust your words. All assembled. We are minded to name ale to the Order of Chivalry. Have been the drug bowl.
Let Ajax Thermopoleakles approach their majesties.
I swear by Zeus, Gaia, Helios, Poseidon, Athena, Ares, all the gods and goddesses, I shall abide by the peace. I shall neither break engagement with King Haek, nor take up arms or harm against any of those who abide by the oaths, neither by land, nor by sea, nor shall I take any city, or guard post, nor harbor, for war, or any that is participating in the peace, by any craft, contrivance, or metis, nor shall I overthrow the kingdom of Haek, or his descendants, nor the constituents existing in each state which swore the oath concerning the peace. Nor shall I myself do anything contrary to these agreements, nor shall I allow anyone else as far as possible. If anyone does commit any breach of treaty concerning the agreements, I shall go and support and call on those who are wronged. I shall make war against those who transgress the common peace, as decided by council and called upon by Hegemon Haek. I shall not abandon.
Here, it is our intention to add you to the Order of Chivalry.
promise I gave your predecessor. But yes.
You swear fealty to the crown, throne, and kingdom of the West. Take the belt, chain, and spurs of a knight, or will you take the baldric of a master?
This is a thing I have thought on long and hard. I will take the belt, chain, and spurs of a knight.
Yes, you are a member of my guard. My only regret is that I might lose you early from service. It's been a pleasure to have you with us. It's been an honor to have you serve under me, and thank you for choosing this as your last charge. It's time that I ask that our services ended and you return the baldric.
Some services you give it to
I return to you this favor as a token of your post and to remember your service by. I also remind you keep your tabard, as it has seen much of you over your time in our service.
Let Ajax's ladies join their majesties.
Will you now give us your word? Be a noble example to our people and all people.
We further promise to be all the courtesy and uphold the laws of our
On what weapon?
Before your peers, swear your oath.
Here do I swear, by mouth and hand, fealty and service, to the crown king, kingdom of the West. To strike and to spare, to do and to let be, in such matters as concern the kingdom, on my honor and the lawful command of king and crown, in need or in plenty, in peace or in war, in living or in dying, from this hour henceforth until the king depart his throne, death take me, or the world end. So swear I, Ajax Thermopoleakles.
You have said this to me. And this do we hear, we will not fail to remember. And we, for our part, do swear fealty to you, do swear to support, protect, and defend you and all of your household with all of our power. Till we depart our throne, death take us, or the world end. So say we Ajax, King of the West.
So also say we Mina, Queen of the West.
By what sword do you wish to swear fealty?
Duke Sir Siegfried von Holstein.
The crown calls Count Kai Ravenglass. Long ago, Count Kai's hand would have been the one to deliver the accolade to Ajax. He has been invited to complete the circle and place his hand on the sword.
Jump me once. Jump me twice. Jump. Now you remain at night. You must go to the aid of the defenseless. Seek justice for all of any degree of every station. Maintain the honor of knighthood always, day and night, as you live and breathe. Let this blow remind you that knighthood brings you pain as well as great reward, but the service never ends. Last one. Are there spurs?
Draw, Your Majesty.
Bring them forward, please. Are there history to these spurs?
These were made for this occasion by Master Sherlock Pay.
Spurs of a symbol of your power. Is there a chain?
May it please your majesty. There is a chain. It is a chain with both a long and short history. Created for this occasion by Ajax's brother knights. A link of every chain of those who visited him last night in his vigil. Here is the list of those who have donated to Ajax's new chain. Sir Colin MacLear, Count Catham, Duke Amalric, Viscount Geoffrey Scott, Sir John, Count Honshu, Sir Shoshai, Sir Oscar of the Woods, Sir Arnulf, Jarl Thorvald,
Halvorsen.
Sir Federoak, Sir Karl von Susen, with links from Morgan Sheridan, Master Podrick, His Royal Highness Edward Grey, Sir Colin MacIan McLaughlin, Sir Rhys Ravenscroft, Sir Angus
O'Neill?
of Bruce, Sir Agnel Agua, thank you, His Royal Highness Vladimir, Sir Colin MacKeon, Sir Hakon Oakenshield, Duke Alaric von Drakenclow, Sir Stefan de Grandchamps, Sir Janos, Sir Antonio Patrasso, Sir Ivan Ulrichsen, Sir Wilhelm
Von Ostenbroek.
of the West. The next one.
I'll say it. Benjamin Stefanovich Medvedjukogatev.
Thank you. Sir Mark, Count Arundel. Siegfried, nice, very long Norse name with funny letters which stand upon who I'm sure you must already know. Duke Sir Craven. Killian, thank you. Nope. His grace is after this one. Thank you. And Elijah of Clan Merker. And I will add my own link.
Mari Alexander, my former squire. Personal belief. We all get to hear it. This will never be yours. This will always be theirs that you get to wear. Never yours. They trust you. Is there a belt? Is there a history to this belt?
Call for Nisa and Uta. Please place this belt for me. Ajax, wear this belt. The appropriate chivalry.
Is there a sword? Is there a history to this sword?
Sitting on a shelf for the last 19 years until I deemed myself worthy to bear it. Because in the words of Duke Ronald, two kinds of men carry swords in this world. Knights and thieves.
there a cloak in this fantastic weather to keep him warm?
Hey!
My investiture, my prince of the nest, white, chariot purple, with that companion and fit.
It is my right. Have the scroll be brought forward.
Okay, where's the photographer to get that?
The scroll reads as follows. On Pelemosi, Bakais, Talamoni, Suchapameni, Iricheto, Puklon, Posaboa, Oraios, Eon, Kai, Kalos, Kalista, Tehraxes, Ajax Thermopoleakles, Proseokasehos, Aistetariros, Uko, Arukos, Kubaletsaleos, Kaiminas, Kasbasaleas, Tohebdemon, Kai Tetarakos, Koan, Epos, Tes Hesperias, Basaleas, Anto Proto, Kai Tetakaraios, to Pennsic Polemo. In soldiering, he fought with steadfast soul. Having vanquished by cunning skill, did he pass round the ring, a victor in life's prime, nobly fair, and one who had wrought most noble deeds. Ajax Thermopoleakles was admitted as an Astatiros by King Hevek and Queen Mina in the 47th year of the West at the 41st Pennsic War.
How do I sign that? Go forth and greet your
Long live the Queen of the West!
Long live all assembled kings, queens, princes, and princesses, and
Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!